Welcome to EEGS webinar about gamification and AI. Today we will talk about the possibilities of the AI technologies into the gamification. I would like to introduce our honorable speakers, which will talk today about this amazing and emerging technology that we will face every day in our life. So I would like to first introduce Vistimil Venchlik, CEO and founder of Odin GG. Vistimil, can you say something about you in 2 sentences and present yourself better than me?
Sure, many thanks. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody. My name is Vlastimil. I'm CEO of Odin GG. We at Odin GG, we are esports odds provider, analytics provider, and risk management services provider. So basically, we can cover all needs relating esports, betting, esports odds, and so on. We've bet on AI very early, basically at the beginning of the company. So all our models and everything is based on AI. We do players profiling based on AI, odds calculation based on AI, and so on. So we are, let's say, heavy users of AI. And we've launched an iframe last year, basically UI, which you can embed to your website. And we thought about the gamification and how we can use it and what's the best way how to approach young audience using AI. And I would love to give you more info how we see it and how we, what we want to do in the future.
Okay, thank you so much. Secondly, I would like to present Mayur Vatkar, part of Neo10 Technologies and sales and product manager. Can you say something about you in shortly?
Sure, Alex, sure. Thank you, EEGS, for having this gamification and AI topic discussed today. My name is Mayur, and I'm heading the head of sales and product teams with Newton Technologies. So Newton is having a Web3 innovative solutions as of services. Newton is integrating AI in gamification, metaverse, NFTs, all the cryptocurrencies. So the whole decentralization process is bread and butter for our company at the moment. And I look forward to give my more insights and share some knowledge with you and hear more from your side. Thank you, Alex. Looking forward for it.
Thank you so much. I would like to present our third speaker, Georgi Mounchev, managing partner of Expora. Hi, Georgi. Can you say more about you?
Great to see you all. Actually, I'm more on the marketing side. I run one of the largest Bulgarian digital marketing agencies, delivering services to companies all around the world. I'm teaching at 4 universities, and I'm covering a lot of topics related to gamification, and we are doing a lot of things in the marketing part. So that's what I'm going to cover, not covering any gambling or so topics, but I believe that you can have great takeaways from what I will share with you.
Amazing. No, last but not least, you're Roman Grigoriev, serial entrepreneur, co-founder of AI Group, and tell us, what is AI Group? What are you doing?
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Roman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the AI Group, and we help gaming and gambling developers harness the power of AI. So we build bespoke solutions rather than sort of out of the box that's suitable for everyone, and which help you drive and improve your revenues. But the, I guess, unique thing about us is that we don't charge you until we prove that we can improve your revenues. So that's the whole thing. So we'll do the work. If it works and you are earning 20%, 30% more than you did before our integrations, then we'll charge you. So that's the unique approach in the market that we've taken.
Amazing. Thank you all for give us a brief presentation for yourself. So firstly, could you tell us about your topic and start telling us about everything you want to say?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you very much, Alex. And hello, everyone. Very thrilled to be here. So as you may have gathered from my name, I'm originally from Estonia, but I moved to the UK about 20 years ago. and now I call London home. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so it's not just the AI group. I'm an investor, and to be honest, with all my sins, I'm also a partner in a venture capital firm. I love all those different hats I'm wearing, but there is one kind of true passion that I have, and it lies in the field of artificial intelligence. And with all the different businesses and investments that I have, from visual content to education to real estate, we try and implement AI and automation everywhere. And the reason being, it's not just because AI is the latest buzzword and everyone's talking about it, it's because it brings results. You can see it in every industry, not just gaming and gambling. It's literally, if applied properly, it could either save you money or make money. And today I wanted to quickly talk about AI's immense potential for the gaming and gambling industries. And I don't talk about it lightly because I had a gaming company myself for about 5 years in the early 2010s. So I know the industry quite well. Again, for all my sins, I actually worked in a casino, as a sort of physical casino back in 2000, I guess, 2001, 2002. So I know the industry inside out. But today we're going to talk about AI and those industries. So in the midst of, I guess, all the noise surrounding generative AI lately, so your ChatGPTs, Midjourneys, and everything else, let's not forget the core value proposition of AI. And it is a prediction powerhouse. And when it comes to gaming and gambling, a sector where prediction is king and lies at the heart of everything, AI is a true game changer. It equips us with the tools to understand, anticipate, and customize player experiences like never before. A key strength of AI lies in its capability to decode player behavior. Each move a player makes in a game or in an online gaming platform generates valuable data. Each click, each new level, each in-app purchase, each cancellation, each screen closed, all of this data, when harnessed properly and interpreted by AI, can offer incredible insights that can improve your revenues. In our industry, many, I guess, CEOs, many CPOs, and the sort of founders attribute the game's amazing designs and content as the primary drivers of retention and monetization. While they're not wrong, that is absolutely right, and designers deserve their accolades for all of that. The design is only one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Game design, its aesthetics and content, they do contribute to virality, and they do contribute to, I guess, allure of the game and help retain players. But AI brings something else to the table, something much bigger, much better, and especially when it's related to revenues. AI does more than create visually stimulating and challenging content. It learns from player behavior at every step to personalize and enhance the gaming experience. By analyzing players' interactions, preferences, and performance, AI can modify in-game elements to suit individual players. For example, the usual way would be to introduce tougher opponents for an experienced player or provide extra help to struggling players. This adaptability ensures a more enjoyable and immersive experience, potentially increasing both retention and revenue, but especially revenue. And as we dig deeper into AI and gaming and gambling, we enter the realm of what we call meta game aspects, which include game mechanics themselves, level progression, and in-app purchases. And while these aspects are often considered secondary to game design and content, in reality, they can only be fine-tuned through extensive data analysis powered by AI, because there are millions and millions of data points, and you simply cannot do that without AI's help. And AI-driven data analytics provide deep insights into player behavior. For instance, when is the player most likely to make an in-app purchase? What kind of purchase appeals to them? What is the optimal point for each item to maximize revenue without losing players? Which players are more likely to turn into whales? Or sort of the players who spend, like the Pareto, 10% of players spend 90% of money, or 20% of players 80% of money. So all of that can be and should be, and technically would be much better
So
AI.
basically you're saying that you can give a very personalized experience to the user who are gambling. What's your point in terms of the personalized experience you can bring to all the users?
Absolutely. So you analyze cohorts. You can figure out which cohort with which parameters behaves in what way, and then you can, of course, it's then on your developer's side to personalize all of that. But without data, you wouldn't know how to do it. That's the whole point. So you can make it a lot more personal, and that's what King.com are doing. Sort of, if we're going into mobile games, Candy Crush sagas, but the same thing applies across all games. Of course, it's the question about data points. The more data you have, the better the results will be. But yes, the answer is with data, you'd be able to do that with an Excel spreadsheet. And that's why the models help. So these are the types of questions kind of AI can help you answer. And talking about that again, AI can help optimize level progression mechanics as well. By analyzing success and failure rates at various stages, AI can assist designers in creating a balanced and rewarding progression system. And again, just think back on Candy Crush Saga and King.com, that's exactly what they're doing. It ensures that players feel challenged, but at the same time not frustrated, because you don't want them to, we've spoken to a lot of developers, and they kind of saying, I don't know, they go to level 10 and then they fall off. And that's it. It's like,
basically, your recommendation to the businesses who want to integrate this immersive AI technology is to firstly structure their data in terms of what will be the data input and what they want as an output. So can you give us more about that?
The most important thing is to get as much data as possible in the right way. And we can then later on share with the audience kind of what sort of data and what sort of data lakes need to be gathered, because I'll need my sort of technical CTO co-founder to tell you, because I understand it, but I'll say the wrong name, and then the technical audience in your sort of webinar will point fingers and say, that's the salesperson who doesn't know what he's talking about. But we've spoken to several really big developers with 50 million downloads of their games, 80 million downloads of games, and they don't gather data in the correct way. So we come there, we sit down, they're super interested to work with us, we look at their data, and the answer is, guys, these are the things you need to do. This is all you need to gather before we can even start discussing how we can implement and improve that. So the step number one is to gather the right data in the right place before proceeding further. But there are so many insights already in whatever you're developing, and I don't know the breakdown of the audience and sort of who is working on what. But the first step is to hoard as much useful data as possible, as many events as possible.
Yeah, therefore, I have read the recent news. I forgot the company and the founder, but there was a guy who is like 4 years old, and he became a billionaire in terms of he didn't like produce an AI product, but he produced the fuel of the AI, and it is the data. So they started cleaning a lot of data, and basically they become that big with like very good data in terms of clean, minified, and etc., that even OpenAI, Google, and other companies were getting and paying for their data. And the guy said like the very interesting things. Yeah, everyone focus on technology, but the basic things about the technology is its fuel. The engine needs fuel, and the fuel of AI is data. So I relate so much on this topic. So it's amazing that there's a lot of people like you who...
That's the backbone of it. You can have the best algorithms, but the whole point of the ChatGPT and LLMs, the large language models, it's based on trillions of data points. Without it, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't produce the results, the wonderful results you're seeing. The same with Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, and imagery. It's the same thing. It's about millions upon millions of images being fed into the system. And the same with you. If you have an amazing game with, I don't know how many downloads, if you want magic to happen on your revenue side, it can and will be achieved with AI. But if you're not gathering the data, if you're not gathering the right information, and your Google Analytics, Unbound, or whatever you're using, it's not sufficient. You need properly to set it up and gather all the information. And then, potentially, not always, sometimes the games are so simple that you can't change much. But in most cases, you would be able to improve revenues on the back of it very fast. But you'd need a few months of data gathered properly. Well, again, depends on how many downloads you have, how many active users you have. Yeah.
Amazing. So, yeah, the data is everything, as you say. In the AI, there's one more thing which is very necessary. It's the GPU power. So that's why NVIDIA have a very big breakthrough. Okay, thank you, Roman, for everything you say, which is the very basics and the very important things. Like one is the data, second is the hardware power. Uh, okay, I would like to point Vostimio and tell us about what is generative networks and how the esports betting gamification fast-paced the markets and everything.
Thank you for the word. So, yeah, guys, I completely agree with Roman that the data is the key here, and data is the fuel for machine learning models. What we saw in last year and let's say last years is that the models get bigger and bigger. They were fueled by bigger and bigger data sets. Like it's a public knowledge that OpenAI used huge centers in Africa and across the South America and so on, where they had the people which were fine tuning the responses from the ChatGPT model and feeding it data and so on. So they spend the millions of dollars just on the data refining, and then like tens of hundreds of millions on the hardware itself. So like it's very hard for regular companies like to beat them with this spend and with this data, right? So what we need to do is, let's say, build on top of them, use the models which are kind of available, like the Facebook Llama, which was released, or there are different smaller or bigger models. But what this generative network, let's say, revolution brought to us is that like we don't need to create content directly. There is an easy way how to create a content, be it image, be it text, or be it video in upcoming few months or years. Like it will be super hard to actually recognize what was made by human or what was made by the computer. Now I'm coming from the gambling and especially betting area. So we saw this huge influx of use cases for ChatGPTs and Google Bards and other things, and we thought how we can use it, what we can do, or what anybody can do with this to actually boost the engagement of bettors. Because like what we really care about, because we are coming from the esports section, is the engagement of the bettors. When young people, they want everything now. They can open Netflix, get what they want right now. Open Spotify, get the music they want right now. They want to bet right now. They want to bet on what they like. So that's why we have the highest uptime in the market, the biggest offer of markets to bet on, and so on. So for us, the engagement is really something we really care about.
We can continue from where we left over. Basically, we left to the point where we were talking about which kind of data was used and was very important, like for to create this personal profile for every player. Can you tell us about
So basically, you need a battle history, and ideally the history of all battles you have across all the times, ideally. And you need to glue it together with the sports data, like the soccer data and the just player stats, team stats, and so on, and learn your models on it, so it can create this nice personalized experience and recommendation. And it's not, it's context, and this is what's big. Like this is what's very different from the Netflix, because it's a context aware recommendation engine. Imagine like Netflix will know about you that you are in a bad mood, or you have a mood for sci-fi or something like this, because you are somewhere. Then they can recommend you much. They can do much better recommendations, right? But this is what you can achieve with the context awareness about the sport event you are watching, or context awareness that you are fan of the Manchester United, something like this. So this is completely different level of what the recommendation engine and how it can work. And if you speak about gamification, the same thing can apply to the gamification as well. Be it different bonuses and motivations for players. I can understand that. Look, like you are free, you are bet, or you bet a lot on the Manchester United, so I will give you this free bet, keep you engaged, keep you in the game. So different ways how you can monetize this thing.
Yeah. So basically, like you collect certain like standpoints for every player, and in terms of profit or game experience, this personalizations, how do you think it will affect like the specific experience, like in terms of the business or in terms of the customers?
I think we can now get back to the esports. I think it will bring better engagement, because like they will have their own personal advisor who can help them with the betting. Ideally, let them win. So it should increase the revenue, or definitely the betted volume of the bookmakers, and that's what we do. We are B2B providers, so for us this is bread and butter. And regarding esports, where in esports we have much more data points than in the traditional sports, and we have over 200 data points every millisecond, 300. Depends on granular data you have. You can have much better predictions for the much better context awareness, and you can bring even this fast-paced markets, like bet will happen in the next minute, because I know that like you like action. Okay, so let's tailor this betting market just for you, because we know that you like to bet on the who will shoot the next headshot in CS:GO. Okay, so let's do it right now, because like I see you move the mouse, you are here, you already made one bet. Okay, so let's offer you the next one.
So in that point, I would like to point our next speaker, Mayur. Can you give us more about details about how this adaptation of AI and learning will become faster in the time? Because every new technology is since it was introduced in this time, the learning curve has become steeper and steeper, so everything is evolving very fast, like
Absolutely. Yes, Alex. So I would like to take a step back. Like when AI, we understand AI a couple of years before, which we call it as a weak AI. So weak AI is something like Siri and Alexa, and we used to just interact with those. Today we are at a stage where we can say we are moving faster towards the strong AI. So ChatGPT and Bard is one of their examples, and as you said, it's a very fast adaptation of AI and different technologies. And I would like to focus today on gamification wise. So we, as a Newton, we provide solutions and services for B2B, to enhance their B2C experiences. So when gamification is helped by iGaming companies, as there is esports and sportsbook, so the whole gaming idea is all about rewarding your players, giving them a scoreboard, giving them rewards, airdrops, promotions, activities, and all. So it's more of keeping them engaged, and we keep a track of it. We keep a track of their traffics. Our solution is more about keeping them engaged at the same time, understanding what would be their next move. So as I mentioned, it's a strong AI capabilities where a human is going to teach in a deeper sense to machine. So we are not only talking about machine learning, we are also talking about human teaching to artificial intelligence altogether. I would just like to share one example where one of our major clients, they want the data which we gather for their AI integrations. They want us to advise them that what kind of next game a player would be looking forward to play. Like many of you must be knowing, there is a match 3 games, there is a match 5 games, same like Candy Crush and same like Angry Birds and all. So we have analyzed few of our gamers pattern where they are more willing to change their what you can say choice of playing games and getting rewarded in different games. So it's more about human personalization, what we are working on at the moment. As most of our panelist members did focused on data analytics. So one of the data analytics we are gathering is also from the sensory equipments. So we are using few of the mechanisms where virtual reality glasses are used. It's in a beta phase right now, but we are making sure that how the eyes are moving, where they are looking at, how is their heartbeats, how their excitement level, the anxiety level happens while playing this, whether it's a small or a big, large game. So of course, it's a mix of machine learning, human teaching, and somehow we are focusing on the deep learning aspect as well. So these are the couple of points where we think that transition from strong AI to super AI will be faster enough with the human teaching and human interventions. Yes, Alex. So that is one of my keen understanding that it will not take much of a time, but in a couple of years we'll be having a lot of
So
revolutionary.
what are you aiming for like the expressions, what kind of emotions you want to trigger in the specific user which will be using the product?
Uh, right now, we are most focused on the facial aspects, but we are slowly and steadily moving towards the whole human avatar or a human personalization aspect. So yes, currently we are just sticking to the mobile games, but slowly and steadily we want to get this whole metaverse and the socio culture in the metaverse integrated, where there would not be a much of a difference between real world and the virtual world. So I think everybody in today has some kind of a virtual presence, and that is one area which we are tapping and making sure that gamification's flexibility to every user who has a virtual presence on internet could be analyzed, could be provided as a key points, data points, and analysis for the companies which we are looking for. So yes, that's one of the point which we are focusing right now, Alex.
Amazing. It is honorable to hear about these interesting things that will improve mentally, like in terms of
Yes,
emotion, communication with your eyes, and etc.
exactly.
So I want to point right now, Georgi. Could you tell us about the gamification itself, like about the marketing which is hidden beneath it, about every cool detail which will move the customer in higher experience? Georgi, you're muted, by the way, probably.
Now it should be okay.
Amazing.
Great. I was smiling because out of 120 clients, we have not had any betting company as a client. It was a policy of ours, and now I see that the market is normalized. A lot of people do it like whatever they are doing on an everyday basis, and now I understand why we have been contacted within a month by 4 large enough companies from all over Europe. So it's really interesting. So to give you the perspective, actually, from the marketing part, we are all part of that one, be it in the Google ecosystem, be it in the Meta ecosystem. And referring to what the other panelists said, you know that sometimes you see totally irrelevant ads, and that's because people have at a given time some kinds of signals, and they have
Actually, I would like to discuss with all of you guys as a group discussion of advantages and disadvantages of the AI integration, and I want to structure the call by specific points in terms of risk analysis and fraud detection. Basically, what does mean like in terms of the fraud detection? Like if we have like the basic physical gambling, like in terms of tables and other things. So to give you a brief through Georgi, we have started a group discussion about the advantages and disadvantages of the AI integration. And we will come again to the, if you want, you can continue your topic or we can switch to this group discussion.
hopefully I could cover my part. So
Okay.
I moved to 5G, and hopefully you can hear me now.
Yeah, better.
Yes.
Great. So speaking about the dynamics, it's something that a lot of brands and companies are missing. Actually, why somebody would do something, and we have a number of clients who are turning more to the basics, why somebody would be really inclined to do something, and not just the mechanics, which would be like being really incited to win something, or be triggered to believe that you will be the best player on whichever shooter. So the dynamics part plays a lot of things in that part, and then it's much easier to fit the AI with the respective mechanics. It's still the AI cannot figure out the motives of people and cannot think about what would work best. And actually, we have a lot of examples for that one. That's my second topic, and it's about the prognostic part and the contextual part that we should feed in the algorithms. I believe that the other panelists thought about that one. So before that revolution that we're seeing now, the algorithms could not figure the context of people. And now Midjourney, ChatGPT, actually, because of these tokens, it's much easier for them to get more and more of the context. Yet, whoever is doing whatever kind of gamification, you should help people to give you the context of what they are doing and why they're doing. So is it because they are in a social environment and somebody is showing something to them? Is it because they are just on the go and they need to lose a couple of minutes for that one? So it's very, very important, because actually all these algorithms, Meta and so on, they gather a lot of data about the location of people, the timing they do anything. So going back to some of the previous commenters, the more context you have, the better, and only then you can make the prognosis. And a very important thing to make, actually, the algorithms will give you whatever you tell them as data. That so we have an amazing example. It's about people ordering heating for their houses, and before that, everything was targeted primarily to men. And because of that, all the content, the user journey, the advertisement and so on was targeted to men. Just within 2 years, we changed the entire industry and we increased 3 times the conversion for women. And actually, we almost are in a tie now between the leads from all both sexes. So it means that unless you start feeding the algorithms with the right information and context, they will be a little bit puzzled. If somebody contacts me or through Alex, I will send you a very funny case study about AI trying to help a company for women's lingerie. And it's very, very funny what the AI thinks and what actually happens. So the third part, and I believe it's the most applicable part, is the idea of costly signaling. Hopefully you have heard about that one. It's a concept by Roy Sutherland, who has been with Ogilvy UK for over 20 years. The book is Alchemy, and it says that actually people, and I would argue the algorithms, should know and are very sensitive to the so-called costly signals. A costly signal means that it's very expensive to give that signal. And because of that, people understand that you believe in your product. So it could be because you're selling something to the gaming and gambling industry or the end users. And there are 3 areas for these costly signals. One of them is the reputation. And I believe that many companies put a lot of effort for their reputation. But then you have the upfront cost. And this is something that whichever business is doing and actually shows that they're willing to invest initially in whoever is interested in whatever. And there are many examples. We have had like at least 10 campaigns within the last quarter that totally changed the behavior of people because of that one. And the final one is the continuity idea, which means that I would like to work with you on a long timeline, and it's your interest that I have best in me. So it was previously done primarily by loyalty points and so on, but there are much more opportunities for that one. So basically that covers the idea. I thought that I would have the opportunity to show you a presentation. So whoever contacts Alex or Biljana, you could email me.
Or we can make so another webinar and extend the topic. But so you're saying that the loyalty program points were used like to give the customer different like loyalty coupe experience, which they can use and their points in the specific products or specific actions in the platforms. And
but it
so
was still very basic. So it is just like
but do you think like for me, like the bright future is like do you think like the AI for like you're just, let's say, a player 1, player 2, the basic example, player 1 is better than player 2, has more like wins than player 2, but like in the basic like human behavior experience, you to the one who is losing in terms of the race or etc., you have to give him more applause, you have to give him like candies to run faster. Do you think like the AI will catch this user behavior and will basically try to give to some users more points so they can be like more happy and interact more with the platform or the case there?
Thank you for the amazing question. I told you I'm teaching at 4 universities, so obviously I will refer to a model. It's called exaggerated signals. So when women put their lipstick, or when we are more macho style and so on, but it refers to your example. So I'm exaggerating whatever signal. the near wins that are very popular in the gaming and gambling industry and so on. So yes, exaggerated signals help a lot, and the loyalty programs could not have a lot of exaggerated signals, and it was an issue. But I would argue that in order to change constantly or in a longer term area the behavior of people, you don't need just these exaggerated signals, because actually how much you could feed these people with that sugar syrup, it's not that easy. So in your case, actually, I will refer once again back to the dynamics, and actually a lot of people enjoy more the social play, or some people enjoy the altruistic part, or some people enjoy the self-development part. So it's not always about that one. Actually, we have changed a couple of gamifications in terms of dynamics, where you change at a given time the dynamic of people. But if you are just feeding people with sugar, what will happen? Actually, the algorithms will look for people who are ready to be fed with that sweet syrup, and it doesn't help you. Be it with the example of people who would like to say to participate in a giveaway, or people who would actually would like to never to bet money, or people who would actually try to break your game, whatever. So I would refer to the basics in terms of the dynamics and in terms of the prognosis, and I would not focus that much on these exaggerated signals unless your business model allows for that one.
Amazing. So basically, I think we can go to the Q&A session. So because the time has gone ahead, and then we can discuss if there's time left because I have very interesting questions to you guys. But firstly, I would like to Emily has a question to us. Do you think the AI solutions will give the company employees to have a more free time, to produce better products, better experience? So it will take the small repeatable task that is taking time of a person in terms of physical, not creative time. And how do you think this element will be combined in the business, and how do you think the gamification and AI could combine these practices?
I will chop in that one because I do see it in my industry, most probably the other people as well. Actually, it's getting easier and easier for us to focus more on strategy and focus on ideas that are very easy to deploy and to scale. So according to me, it will actually very much ease the focus on creativity, on finding new niches, on not solely relying on what the AI would say in terms of probabilities, because that's how the AI works, and people would rather look for the causality of things. So according to me, it helps a lot, and it will help even better.
I mean, what do you think, Vlastimil, about any practical things that you can probably find? And
Well, who is writing their own PRs right now, right? And who is doing all the marketing stuff just alone, right? I guess everybody here is using ChatGPT to some degree. Maybe just generate a template and then just edit it, or just generate a whole PR message or something like this, and just post it, right? I believe that and all I read some article that basically ChatGPT killed all the recommendation letters or just job letters and everything, because it doesn't make sense to write it when ChatGPT can write a much better version of you. Or just don't think about the ChatGPT. You can use the Midjourney or DALL-E to generate images for you. So you can start with an easy artworks or some icons or something like this in ChatGPT or in Midjourney. We've actually recently used Midjourney to generate images of our of players for different streams. So it's like if we should do this images, then it will take like half year for designers to do it. And in Midjourney, yes, you need to tweak the in prompts, but you have it instantly.
Even in the like even in virtual gaming rooms where you're seeing like a person, it can be AI.
Yeah.
And he can work like 24/7 instantly without any breakpoint. I forgot to introduce myself in the first part of this webinar. My name is Alexander, and I'm co-founder of Kibernation, which is about Web3 and AI technologies. So in your point, I want to say that as well, we created a little bit of AI model to try and remove the marketing like specialist, and it is doing very well, like in terms of marketing, generating content, etc. And it's working 24/7. We can even we like we put like a limit to it because it was working so fast and so good, like we even like limited to some points because it was doing a work for like 10 people, and we were thinking like algorithms of SEO optimization will block us because it's impossible to do it. It's
Just a comment to make. According to me, very quickly we will see that once again the limitation goes to your creativity and the way how you will feed or guide the algorithms. If you drop me a line or whoever drops, I will send you that case study about that AI about the Cosabella brand. It's really very, very funny, and it shows you on a much smaller scale, according to me, what you have experienced.
True. Mayur, what do you think about how like because the most point like is there will be probably the AI is fighting with a lot of regulations to the AI. It focused a lot on it, and basically they will regulate it somehow. I don't know how, but they will start to try something.
Exactly.
Basically, do you think like in terms of do the AI will like give points to the companies to learn and grow faster, or and like keep the human power, let's say, or it will remove a lot of human power and just do the work by itself?
Exactly. So first, thanks for bringing up that question, Alex, because regulatory is a very important aspect when we are doing all this exercise at the moment. So yes, humans are going to be a superpower when AI gets completely in its final form and shape. But again, every bad element has to be kept away from the AI. We are currently building certain kind of a model where we not only want to gather data, but we are also passing this data with few of the regulatory bodies within our jurisdictions. So that ways, of course, it's so happening so fast that not every government or not every country, whether it's a developed or non-developed country, is having a lot of idea how this thing should be implemented in their own jurisdiction. So regulatory wise, I think the best way to look forward is the company like us, who are the flag barriers, I would call, for having AI introduced to the human life, should be taking first step and should be leading the march to regulate the whole idea about AI and its impact on human life in future. Second thing, what we are discussing right now about is, will AI take over human in the very first place? Honestly, at this moment, I think we, as in the whole millennial age group, have already seen the highest peak of AI's reach. And I pass the baton to the whole Gen Z and Gen Y and the new generation, how they put forward their best foot to AI altogether would be the thing to see. So at the moment, this same second, if you ask me, I'm not seeing AI super taking or imposing the human creativity or human jobs at the moment. But slowly and steadily, if we teach AI in a very well manner or make AI our friend rather than depending on AI altogether, I think we both can, AI and human being could be surviving in a very great manner.
Yeah,
So
it's
I think that's
question like who
yeah,
is first, the egg or the chicken. So basically, AI
correct.
can destroy, but it can build. But
Oh,
fast forward, like I see very interesting questions to Vlastimir, which is very directly to him. Uh, there's a person, Simeon, who is asking you as an individual who has vested interest in e-sport. He want to ask you a question. Do you believe like that the near of the or the distant future of esports will attain or even surpass the level of interest enjoyed by sports such as football, basketball, tennis?
I cannot say no, right? When we are the esports company, right? We definitely definitely believe that this will happen. Of course, the question is when, right? Wait 5 years, wait 10 years. I don't know. I believe it will happen. But the question of time is very unpredictable here. You know, if you'll have another 3 years of COVID, then the esports will be the number one, right? Because nobody can play the traditional soccer, nobody can go out and play. But what's in favor of esports? It's that it's convenient, right? Like you just take your phone, play a game, and it's much easier. You have players all around the globe. You don't need to find 11 players, and so the convenience, the laziness of it is, you know, the entry barrier is very low, and we haven't seen quite quite emerging markets like Africa and India, and they will be huge in esports as well. Like when the Africa and the mobile phones will just start playing games and be part of this, let's say, bigger ecosystem of esports. So for India, India is basically like opening right now this year and next year. It will be huge there, and the whole ecosystem when it will connect globally. It's a very interesting market, and I would say we have very interesting times ahead.
So I hope the question was like answered. There's one question from Christine. She's wondering how the AI could be predicting the user behavior for future gamification task. Like Mayur, what do you think about it? How like the AI can predict what do you want? Like, am I asking you personally right now, what do you want? How the AI will do it? Like, how it will give you what do you want? Like, or like Georgi told us how it will know that to give you a chocolate or vanilla candy.
I will take that sentence from here, the candy. So I'll give you a live example what we are working right now. We were developing one game where you have to do this kind of a Dota 2, where you have to have the plan, strategy, think a lot, coordinate with other players. But what we have understood is every player has their own threshold. So let's say in 7 to 8 hours of playing, uh, they were not ready to give the whole 7 to 8 hours of them. Once they are stopping their limitations while doing the strategic game or playing the strategic game, the second task they go is for rewarding games, like you mentioned Candy Crush. So they want to quickly get something frustration out of them, or some kind of an anger or eagerness or anxiety releasing kind of a games. So that way is what we are seeing right now, at least in the Southeast Asian market, which we are catering at the moment. The gamers are more looking towards the end of the day for the rewarding and the honoring kind of time what they are investing. So this is how one where the gamification specific to the gaming industry, the gaming companies would be analyzing and knowing what customers or gamers wants to play next, which is the more revenue generation games they can build, catering to the human centric players. And of course the more of the interaction and interactive sessions between the player and a gamer for their more, I can say, personal rewarding or personal, you can say, boosting their confidence altogether. So this is one of the things which we are analyzing and seeing the trend where AI is already giving suggestions to gaming companies what kind of a best games they should make in future for keeping their retentions low, or making sure that the gamers come again to the platform and play the games. So
Yeah,
yes, that is.
it's wonderful because even you can ask the AI how he can improve itself. So the
Exactly.
experience become very like cycling, because you can ask and make the AI to improve itself based on
Exactly.
his experience, and then you can like repeat, and AI started to learning from himself, and it's immersive, like it's
Actually,
becoming like because most of the people like AI, the definition of AI is the artificial intelligence itself is about the program which is with free mind. So basically most of the things like now is part of the machine learning, because they're based on query experience, query like outputs and etc. So it will become like soon or later the real AI, which will be like free and learn from itself and basically learn based on his own experience, and don't search for us like to improve it and somehow. So this is like the basic definition of AI. I like to like if there's no more questions, I would like to have like for me very interesting questions. What do you think like how the AI will take in terms of fraud management systems and etc.
sorry, could you say that again, Alex? Outreach.
Like a fraud detection system.
Fraud detection, of course. So, as I mentioned in the very first introduction, that we are also building a crypto platform, crypto services as a payments platform. So, as we are entering into the decentralized era, there is a very big need where a human to human or a peer to peer connection needs to be secured from any kind of a fraud. One of the risk analytics or one of the fraud analytics which we have integrated at the moment, you must be knowing if there is at least a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes minimum. What I'm saying, it takes to transfer one cryptocurrency to another wallet. So we have created certain kind of a data enabled AI driven risk analysis where we analyze the pattern of a gamer, or let's say for an example Mayur is going to transfer some BTC in Alex's wallet. So we have already analyzes how Mayur uses his wallet, what time of the day, how quickly he gets into the application, how quickly he scans the code, the QR code. And if we see a big difference between that time frame, that is how we can think that something is not wrong, or this is where the alert, a red flag which we get to see that might be Mayur is not the right person who is accessing his wallet. At that time we have an enhanced authentication process again. So if even if I'm the right person using the wallet, I have to reconnect and re-log in or do the two-factor authentication, something where AI will stop me from not from doing any wrong or getting stuck into the fraud thing. So yeah, that is one of the
So
thing
it's
which
like
AI has.
you're
Yes,
predicting the user experience based on its
true.
action. So if there's a little bit of like a change in their
A pattern,
actions,
correct.
you're making like a little bit flags you're giving, so
Yes,
it can understand. So basically, for the non-technical persons, it's like scanning for data on
true.
like scanning for these events like log off, like transfers, etc. And basically, on this event, it's giving a prediction,
Very true.
which can detect if there's someone else like doing it. So this is like a brief example of fraud detection. But I would like to ask Georgi about like if do you think like in terms of marketing, if like the customer support and the chatbot becoming like AI, and how it will like improve?
Actually, in the presentation that I had for you, so hopefully you'll get it. I have the example of a client of ours who, the moment they turned on their chat on the website actually started generating so much customer insight, and it's actual customer insight on a specific place, on the specific topic and so on, that they had even their CEO going through the data, and that's how they aligned their different teams. And that's how they did, if we refer back to the datification part, so gathering more and more data, but going back to the idea of data in context. So I believe that actually many companies will need and start to have that datification process, so that they have as much data as possible, but in a specific context. And all these chat platforms and so on, they will give much of their context. According to me, it's going to be very hard not to have something like that one that will actually fit the with enough big data the company's models.
Okay. But very interesting thing, like more about, like, I think the AI is so powerful in terms of, like, if you know, ChatGPT passed the bar exam for lawyers, and basically I think, how do you think, guys, like the AI itself, like, you know, there's a lot of regulations in the gambling space, and do you think, like, the AI can follow these regulations, can check everything if it's like okay for these regulations, and it's following them, and it can do it like 24/7, basically, when a regulation enters, and it will already know what to do, like, how do you think, like, about this? Because this will be like a very big innovation, because it can support and comply the it will be so wonderful.
Can I answer that question, Alex?
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah. So yeah, the regulation wise, as I really mentioned, that there is a need. Of course, there is a big need, because we don't want to get stuck, as you mentioned, about fraud, as you mentioned about AI taking over human and all. Even if we are stepping in the decentralization world, the centralization of regulations has to be there in place, and it should have started yesterday, as in it should have started already. But I think few of us are behind, like even after 10 years or 11 years of Bitcoin in presence, blockchain in presence. Not many of the countries have already regularized it, but humans have adopted it already into their everyday lifestyle. So I think that is one of the main concerns which we, as again, I call it as a flag bearer, who is taking the whole journey of AI towards the human day-to-day life, has to take into consideration. And we should be having a strong proposals, not to only different countries, but as a open network to open questions to each and every companies worldwide, to come together and have some kind of a thought process or brainstorming to make sure that the AI does not actually overtake us or overtake our mind or the whole mind process. Because yes, at the moment,
it will be like interesting, like a board meeting for AO gambling regulations with AI lawyers, so they can decide like what to do, what not to do. Because as I think, like, and as I'm seeing, like, the one landscape, like, you can teach the AI to, like, understand this regulation and compliances, and basically, like, find the requirements, ensure they are fair, or it can understand if they are fair, it can automate it, implement them. Like, as you say, like, it is so much potential to like invent, collide, implement, upgrade. Every action, it can be done by the AI, except, like, to be live without electricity and internet. So basically,
I'll give you a reference to the marketing industry because of all these pop-ups and statistics and so on. When they introduced the GDPR part, so there were regulations, then there were some platforms that were supposed to gather all cookie consents, and then they would not work. Some platforms would not bring back data and so on. So according to me, it's going to be something close to that one. But the good thing about that thing is that it's very data driven. And according to me, the future will be to have more and more data points that are actually required to be collected, and that would be later on they could be investigated, or it's like the email marketing. Unless you have the consent, then it's really hard to move forward, and then some of the platforms will not allow you. So according to me, it will even help a little bit ease the restrictions on the industry, provided some requirements are met and can be proved.
Very, very true, Georgie. Very true.
amazing. So basically, because we have extended the time, we have so much more topics like to cover, but we don't have the time right now to cover all of them. Because it's very huge, like a galaxy of possibilities. I would like to thank everyone who attended our webinar. I hope you have gathered enough information and you have enough questions in your mind, like to think about them, and we'll probably gather again and about this immersive topic because it's very huge and we cannot cover everything for 1 hour. We are sorry for our technical issue. We will be like AI. We will improve for a better and future. So basically, no more issues. And thank you. Thanks. I would like to thanks to all of our speakers. Georgi, it was amazing. Mayur, thank you so much. I would like to thank Roman too. I'm sorry he didn't have chance to join through the platform because of technical issue, but it was amazing to have him on the panel. And not last but not least, like Vlastivio, he really beat the gaming, the esports AI, and I hope we have time and we will have our next panel about the AI and we will discuss it more deeply and more amazing. So thank you everyone for participating.
Thank you, Alex, for being such a great host. It was really nice talking to you, and thank you for putting all the lights on this topic. Thank you.
Amazing
Thank
question.
you,
Thank you so much.